Hi and welcome back to the channel. So I was wrong. From memory, September is usually a busy month for debuts and comebacks, but this year it was extremely chill. October I predict is going to be the final month to wreak havoc on the year with tons of back-to-back releases as groups prepare for the end-of-year award shows in November and December. But where this month lacked in quantity, it made up for in quality. In my opinion at least. So without further ado, let's get into the video. This is ONEUS at their best. They are so in their element this comeback. I love ONEUS and their discography, but their previous comeback Bring It On just didn't feel like them. The dark and sexy concept with the tropical house sound that makes it such an easy listen makes this a top tier comeback and one of their best. I said this about Tempest's comeback last month as well, but this song reminds me of the best things that came out of third gen music. Even the music video reminds me of older K-pop videos, especially when they dance in the water. I'd say Same Sense Closer Sibling song-wise is probably a song written easily. The overall concept is definitely reminiscent of the Lived album, and the music video reminds me of Valkyrie, Black Mirror, and Luna. Without a doubt this is Seoho's era. His energy is so different. Even though the members always give their all in their performances, you just can't help but focus on him this comeback. The song reminds me of Rothy's B, while the music video reminds me of Yuri's Love and Luna Ode Circle's Girlfriend. It's very mellow and relaxing and I love listening to it in the car, but I feel like it sounds more like a B-side than a title track for a solo debut. I really hope we get a Wiki Mickey comeback this year, but not a half-assed one like we got last year. I just wish Fantasia would have kept taking them seriously after 2020, because they had everything going for them after Cool. Anyways, really proud of Yoojung for debuting solo, and I wish more people would talk about it, because she and the rest of the Wiki Mickey members are way too overqualified to still be this underrated. Sorn's releases this year have some of the coolest names with music to match. I love that this song is about breaking free and transcending to paradise, and Sorn and Yeeun are literally calling out their trash ex-company. The black wig made me feel kinda sad because it reminded me of Black Dress era, the time when I think most Cheshires thought that CLC was going to keep on thriving. I wish Yeeun was more integrated into the song instead of just being featured for a verse near the end. But I feel like that's because I subconsciously wanted to treat this as a CLC song and not a solo release from Sorn. I also appreciate the Seungyoung cameo, but I also wished she was part of the song as well. If you told me back in 2018 that Jungwoo in 2022 was going to be in nothing but a pair of white skinny jeans and splattered paint
on my titties,
I would not believe you in the slightest. When he and Jaehyun came up for their part in the bridge, I swear I forgot to breathe for a second. I've joked about boy groups making noise music about fast cars and stating my dislike for it. But this is the one exception because it is just so audacious and cocky to the point where you just gotta love the energy they're serving to the table. I don't think any other group would be able to capture this song the same way 127 has. Like, they know it's ridiculous, but they're completely owning it. Also, I always laugh at the fact that they use an Apple ringtone in the song. The music video is very neo. It feels like a mix of their old and new style combined. I don't know if it's just me, or does anyone else think the music video kinda looks like if SM made a Big Bang music video. In typical SM fashion, their B-sides are laced with their own special brand of crack that makes them extremely addictive and magical. Time Lapse, Crash Landing, Gold Dust, and Black Clouds are the standout tracks from the album in my opinion. Tasty is also a certified bop, and it has been added to NCT's coveted and illustrious haul of Ho anthems. When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. Nothing. I mean nothing would have prepared me for this album. I don't mean to diss BLACKPINK or their songs, but based off Pink Venom alone, I was expecting another album like The Album. Great songs, but lacking in that little bit of substance. Born Pink makes the album look so superficial. It's so mature and deeply personal. I was not expecting them to bring out so many emotions or be so adventurous in their choice of genres. Let's talk about Shutdown first. As a former classical musician, I love it whenever classical music is sampled in songs. I think it's becoming more of a trend since we had Red Velvet's Feel My Rhythm and Ghost Nine's Control recently do the same thing. Shutdown is such an elegant and sophisticated middle finger to the haters. Like it's sending the message, I'm not even going to pay attention to you because you're not worth my time. I'm just gonna sit back and watch you self-destruct, which is an even greater burn. People have complained that the song and the music video are too simple to have waited 2 years for. I agree that it's more simple than the typical BLACKPINK release we usually envision, but it's not a bad thing. The simple instrumentals and melody make you focus on the lyrics, which is the real star of the song. As for the music video, I love all of the references to their past music videos and think it's so genius of YG to do. It's simple, but it makes the message very clear. BLACKPINK don't have to go all out with the music video. They don't need to prove their prowess with over-the-top sets because they've already done it. I do have to add that some people have been saying that the music video gives off disbandment vibes. I don't think YG would want to disband their current most successful ensemble and only girl group, but then again they badly screwed over 21. But let's bask in denial for now and focus on the album. Typa Girl left me shooketh. I thought it was going to be a cutie song about having a crush on someone, when in reality it's a song about being a girl boss, about being confident and making others jealous. I mean, who doesn't love that energy? Yeah 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 on paper is exactly my type of song. It's got those retro elements and groovy guitar riffs, and you're absolutely correct, I fell head over heels for it. The guitar riffs reminded me of Every Breath You Take by The Police, and the outro reminded me a bit of Forever Young. Miss Rose did not mess around in this album, and certainly not in her solo. I love that Hard to Love is a mix of soft rock and retro, and the lyrics kinda give me Taylor Swift vibes. It contends with The Happiest Girl as my favourite track off the album. Speaking of which, The Happiest Girl also reminds me of Taylor Swift or just 2000s pop ballads in general. I also initially thought that this was going to be another bubbly, cutesy song, but it completely destroyed me. I can imagine this being played in a movie scene where a girl is seeing the guy of her dreams dance with someone else. I have to be careful about when I listen to this song because it makes me so goddamn emotional. Tally is a zero given type of anthem. It's so cheeky and is something that I've wanted BLACKPINK to do in so long. This song has now become my new mantra and life motto. All in all, the album is certified gold in my eyes. Every song was love at first listen, and it reminds me of Big Bang's Made and 21's Crush albums. It's only the pre-release, but I would have been more than happy if this was the title track. This music video is pure art. I cannot praise the director enough. They definitely would not have been able to make something like this if they were under their old company. And the song. Holy shit, I was not expecting that. I mean, I always expect to feel a lot of feels when I put the rose on, but this was on a whole other level. I love songs that make you go through a lot of self-reflection and help make you feel comforted in your anxieties. Lucy makes songs with similar messages to this, but it's usually in a joyful manner that tries to encapsulate that childlike joy and wonder, whereas Childhood by the Rose is more somber and melancholic. From what I've interpreted, it feels like they're coming to terms with the death of childhood, but still holding on to the memories as they're reborn into adulthood. There's a balanced feeling of hope and hopelessness which tugs at your heartstrings, ready to rip them apart but then mend them back together. I am beyond excited for their first album to drop in like a week, and I'm hoping that they announce more tour dates in cities closer to me soon. This quirky vintage aesthetic is what I imagined Red Velvet would bring to life in Zimzalabim and Queendom, so I'm glad I'm finally seeing it come into fruition. I think it's a less controversial song this time round since I think the pairing of jazz, swing, and those trap hip-hop elements that remind me of second and third gen K-pop go well together. I actually didn't think their debut song was horrible, as opposed to what the majority of people have said, and I quite liked 2/3 of it. You guys know the parts I'm talking about. A critique I had for their debut song was that it was too short. You can still have a good song that feels complete and is under 3 minutes, but the problem with what NMIXX is going for requires much longer songs in order for the transitions to work. I think they've improved in that aspect this comeback, because it feels less jarring and you feel prepared for what's about to happen. This comeback is definitely an upgrade, but I feel like they could have been more experimental with this song. Something about it oddly feels safe, and I would have liked to have seen this concept and song go over and above its potential. I might get flamed in the comments for this, but at this point I think I like OO over Dice. Though only slightly because I gotta pay my respects to Yeeun and Lily absolutely devouring their lines. Who knows, my love for Dice might grow with more listens since that's what happened with OO. Also Cool has got to be one of the best B-sides of the year. It kinda reminds me of LE SSERAFIM's Sour Grapes and is hands down my favourite NMIXX song.
Obviously.
I love all of my 4th gen girlies, but I am not a fan of this song. They did the most with what they got, but this song feels very generic and tired to me. I appreciate their vocals, raps, dance moves, and skills way too much to see them be given a song like this. Burn With Love is a much better song to showcase all of these things, and the song feels like it carries emotion and isn't a superficial girl crush type of jam. But even with girl crush, it doesn't always feel superficial when it's done right. Like, Queendom, in my opinion, would have been the better pick as the title track because you can feel their confidence and ferocity, whereas in Gratita, I don't really feel anything from them. The only part I like in the song is the bridge. But just a reminder that all of what I've said is entirely just my opinion. It's fine if you all like the song. This is kind of a relevant, irrelevant comment to make. No shade towards the girls, but whenever I see the word Gratita, I always think of Hot Issue and I just get really sad. They were taken away from us way too soon. I was intrigued the moment the music video started. They hit the ground running from the first line and carried that magical and mystical energy throughout the song. It reminds me of something I would have heard from a Nugu 3rd gen girl group in like circa 2017, 2019, and I mean that as very high praise because we all know Nugu girl groups are an underappreciated German K-pop. The beat used in the verse after the first chorus reminded me of I'm an Albatross and of the dance break in Kepler's Mask. I'm really glad to see Jia and Yeonju finally debut, and I'm pleasantly surprised to see that almost all of them aren't minors cause it's been scary seeing really young idols debut this year. Not sure why they released a half version of the music video a week before their debut. It's kind of an odd marketing strategy in my opinion, but then again, what do I know?
Welcome to my last word.
Good heavens, sir. I was not ready to be this disrespected, but thank you for doing it. The opening reminded me a bit of the intro to Monster X's Gambler. The song as a whole gives me Taemin, Kang Daniel, and Ha Sung-woon vibes as well. The song is so satisfying and I love how it builds and builds. It's gotta be one of my favourite releases of the month. Carrots and N-Jeans have always joked that Jun is Jae's dad, but the resemblance couldn't be any more clear now with the platinum blonde hair matched with the flowy white blouse and elegant vampire aesthetic. Like, the stylist and music video director knew exactly what they were doing and they did a fantastic job. We don't say this enough, but Xiumin is such an underrated vocalist and idol in general. It's really tough having to be in the same group as the vocal legends that are Baekhyun, Chen, and Dio, even with the other members too. Kai and Lei are recognized as dance gods, Chanyeol and Sehun are great rappers, and Suho is the fearless leader and protector of EXO. I feel like oftentimes Xiumin never gets the recognition he deserves because of his ability to dabble in so many things and provide balance and stability to the group, which unfortunately causes him to fade into the background. He's kind of like a chameleon and I've always been curious for what he would bring to the table as a soloist. I really had no idea what to expect with this solo debut because, like I said, he suits so many concepts. We've seen the EXO members immerse themselves heavily into R&B, hip-hop, ballads, and the sexy concept in their most recent unit and solo endeavours. Xiumin's debut has brought back the EXO CBX energy. I like that it's melodious but also hype because it makes you appreciate his vocals and dance skills. It's a party song and fits his personality so well. I'm curious to see if he'll stick with this sound and concept for his first comeback. It's so cute how he reunited with Mark for one of his B-sides because they had a really good chemistry in Young and Free back in 2017 and even back when Mark was still a little SM trainee. When I first learned the title track's name, the only thing that went through my head was the quintessential primary school disco rager of a song, Party Rock Anthem. This song is the perfect sibling to Adrenaline, where Adrenaline is the popular jock, Party Rock is the class clown and life of the party. I'm a fan of the funky bass they use and that pre-chorus is so smooth and is so typical of CRAVITY. However, I'm a bit indifferent to the chorus. It's just not my usual vibe and sounds like it'd feature on the soundtrack of a Disney Channel movie. It's the return of Casino BIBI. She's out for blood and ready to exact her revenge on those who have wronged her. The title of the song immediately intrigued me because it's named after the George Orwell novel, and the music video also makes references to it. The set reminded me of the final dinner scene and the VIP lounge in Squid Game. The fight scene also reminded me of Tarantino's Kill Bill, which I'm guessing they took major inspiration from since it's mentioned in the end credits. Might be a stretch, but I also see a reference to Carrie when she's rocking on her electric guitar in the rain. Every new BIBI song becomes my favorite, but there's just something about this that makes it feel like she's reached her final Pokemon evolution. She's the baddest she's ever been, she'll destroy you in a second if she wants to, she's at the top of her game and she's never coming down. I've missed these ladies way too much. Like, you guys have no idea how much of an impact I Love You had on me in 2018. Their charisma is unmatched and I'm so glad they came back for their 10th anniversary. I wish Ellie had a chance to flex her rapping prowess since a lot of new K-pop fans probably haven't done a deep dive of EXID before, but at least I'm glad she got to write and produce all of the songs on the single. She's also had a hand in producing TRIBE's debut song, and because of that I feel like this song would have suited them more. I really like the pre-chorus, but the chorus is where the song lost me. It just doesn't feel like EXID to me. Regardless, I'm just super happy that they've come back for their 10th anniversary and I'm really hoping we get another comeback from them real soon. You guys know the drill by now. Here's a quickfire round of a couple more comebacks that happened that I didn't have much to say about but enjoyed nonetheless. Dia, you deserved way better. I think it's definitely for the best that they disbanded because it's not like their company ever treated them well. The music video is so heartbreaking. I was always a casual listener of Dia, but even I felt constantly disappointed with their company and sad for the girls. It's not my type of song, but it is pretty catchy and the embodiment of sunshine and rainbows. I'm glad she's giving music another go, but now as a soloist, cause Da 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 was my jam last year, and I was so upset when I heard Luna Solar disbanded this year. Okay, why is no one talking about this song? It slaps so hard, and it's entirely in English. Rocking Doll are truly doing it for the arts and not the charts. Survive would go straight to my Surviving the Apocalypse playlist if they could at least add it to Spotify. Love the classic 90s sound and the instrumentals. Even the music video is filmed in a way that is more old school, which I love. I wouldn't object to the song being played, but I'm indifferent to it at the moment. Whether it be a soul-crushing ballad or a joyride bop, Crush always delivers the best. And he got J-Hope on the track, so it basically guarantees its greatness. I am in love with the horns they use. It adds to the 90s vibe. I think it's what JB's release was missing, just that little extra something to make it pop. I loved Trouble Travel, so I like that she kept the musical concept for this song. The song and the music video reminds me of Taylor Swift's Me. Adora just has this aura, no pun intended, that is so unique to her, that is so charming and endearing. I can really see her becoming a beloved soloist in the future. This song has reignited my curiosity of MIRAE. I kind of forgot about them after Splash. The song sounds like your quintessential third-gen song, which I have to appreciate. The only problem is, I can imagine other groups doing the same song the same way. They did a superb job nonetheless, and it got immediately added to my everyday playlist, but I want to see them do something that is really unique to them in their next comeback. The quality of this pre-debut release is insane. I get major IZ*ONE and GWSN vibes, which is a big plus in my books. I'm glad their company is investing a lot into them this early on, and it makes me excited to see what their debut is going to be like in January if they're already putting in so much effort in September. Alrighty, that's the end of the video. Thank you for making it this far, and I hope you enjoyed September as much as I did. Comment down below your opinions and faves of the month, and until next time, stay groovy, stay safe, keep smiling, love you all, and bye bye.